congratulations with the Night of the Kings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I read that this is actually something that the story of Maca is something that's from your childhood.
Yes, when I was child, 8 years old, my mother was in La Maca, in this prison for political reason. So I traveled one day each week to go to see my mother. I was in a collective taxi because La Maca is built inside the forest, crossing this forest. And for me, La Maca is a prison who is very open. So as a visitor, you can meet prisoners, you can discuss with prisoner. A prisoner can take your bread and eat it in front of you. So as a child, it was not a sad experience for me. It was very strange. It was I saw La Maca like a kingdom with his queens, with his kings, with his lackeys. It was a sort of fairy tale for me.
It's very humbling that it sounds you embraced your experience.
Yeah, it's normal because I think each director is very connected with his stories, with his film, and I have a special connection with prison because after this experience I made different cine club in prison in France. I have some friends, some brothers who are in prison, and I, I, it was important for me to present, to observe this society, to present prisoner without guards, without administration, as a complete society with his code, with his laws, with his government, with his beliefs. And I wanted to, and to say politically, it was important also to say that the production of stories, the production of poetry is not only for people who are in institution or who are in universities. Prison can bring also poetry, can bring stories.
Speaking of poetry, I mean, this is about Roman and being a storyteller, and I was reading that this is not a fake story. Like, it actually does happen at the Mecca.
It's a true story. I met a friend, a childhood friend, who told me this story 4 years ago. He said, okay, in La Maca, we choose a prisoner and he is obliged to tell a story each night. Of course, they don't kill him. I dramatize more. And it's also the situation of Roman, my storyteller. It is also the situation of Sherazade in Arabian Nights. Sherazade, she is obliged to tell stories to the Sultan if she wants to survive. And Roman, my storyteller, is in the same situation.
Now, while you have Roman saying the story in the film, you incorporated a little bit of theater. I would say you have these boys dancing, doing a little bit of like the impression of about the story. Can you talk about that?
Yes, it's not theater, but it's performance. I called in my script. I called these prisoners, this group, the players. So they play or they replay what the story say, and they bring in this way poetry, image, dance, songs. And it was important for me not to have this prison as a place only to tell the story and you have flashback. I wanted prisoner engaged in the process of this storytelling. I wanted to their bodies, their language, their faces completely in this story. They are a part of this story. And if you see at the end of the film, near the end, you don't see the difference. Roman is not alone to tell his stories. He tell one part and dancer tell another part and singers tell another part. So it's a chorus. It's a chorus, like a Greek chorus.
And tell me, because you wrote the story and you directed, as you were writing, what's the scene you were looking like really excited and couldn't wait to see, to actually film?
It was it was the scene, the mystical fight between the queen and the king, with special effects when the queen transformed herself in an elephant or in a bird or in fire. Yeah, it was this scene was very difficult to organize. We took 3 days to shoot this, and it was my challenge with special effects. And it was also important because it's a part of our culture in West Africa, in Ivory Coast. We live in magical realism, but for us it's not magical realism, it's our reality. So it's not extraordinary to add some stories about someone who was an elephant and who is dead, and after you see an elephant, he is dead, and you see a human. So we live in this border between invisible world, visible world, magical things, realistic things, dead people, alive people. The border is very fine.
I didn't expect to see a scene like that. That was actually pretty refreshing to see in the middle of the story, you know, of like people incarcerated.
Yeah, because roman in La Maca, they said the roman, the storyteller, is here to make them escape. So he need to tell extraordinary stories with a king, with a queen, with elephant. He need to bring all his imagination. And roman, he knows that if he's finished his story, he will die. So he is in this emergency. So he used all different elements in his life to build a story.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about the character that's there with all the prisoners, the gentleman with the chicken.
Yeah.
Silence.
Silence.
How did that character develop?
Silence is played by a famous French actor, Denis Lavant, who is the actor of Léos Carax, Lovers of Pont Neuf, different films, Holy Motors. He played with Carax in Holy Motors. And it's I wanted to because when I was child and I visited La Maca, there was a few people, but there was white men, white women, a few, but there was here, and I kept this memory, and I wanted to have a white guy inside, not inside the fight of the prison, but around, like more muet. And Denis Lavant is an extraordinary actor to play without words. Yeah, so I invited him for this.
Okay, and then I understand you had some success and some festivals. Is that correct with your film?
We were, the premiere was in Venice, and after we won a prize, Amplify Voices, at Toronto. There was Sundance also, Rotterdam, New York Film Festivals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think people like the film.
How warming was it to see your film out there?
Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm very happy, but it's a long process. It's not my birthday. It's a long process. We worked 20 years now for this moment, and it's we build it. I'm not alone. I have a crew. I have collaborators. I have assistant, and we work together. I have Neon, our distributor in US. We work all together to build this.
And then to start wrapping up real quick, can we talk a little bit about the filming location? And I understand that outside, if I'm not mistaken, was filmed at the Maca.
Yeah, outside the prison at the beginning of the film is La Maca. But after this, we rebuilt everything. We built a prison because about security, about time, it was not useful for us to try to shoot in the real prison. But we worked with ex-prisoners as extras. We made all this paint and drawings on the wall comes from a real prison in South America or in Africa. We try to rebuild an authenticity, a sort of authenticity.
Great. Well, thank you so much for talking about your new film coming out very soon here in America. And I wish you a lot of luck, and we look forward to seeing more of your work. This is a nice feature that tells us a little bit about another culture and a real life prison that's out there that's pretty different from many of the concept that we have of a prison.
Yeah, it's not a film of prison, even if I like prison film with a genre, it's a film who happens in a prison.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
Definitely. Thank you so much, and good luck with your projects.